Hello again, everyone. I'm so glad you came back this week as we continue talking about the fruit of the Spirit. We've been learning that the Bible tells us the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. We've been learning how when Jesus lives inside of us, we produce fruit, good stuff, good actions that come out of us that represent who God is. This week, I just want to say thank you so much for visiting every week, for being consistent, for being on time, for being, well, faithful. What is faithfulness? Faithfulness is simply put when others can count on you. You all know someone who's always there for you, someone who's always willing to help, someone who's always willing to lend a hand. Faithfulness when others can count on you.
Hey guys, this is the Abby and Bella Show. I'm Abby.
I'm Bella.
And today we're talking about
Faithfulness. What is faithfulness, Abby?
faithfulness is when other people can count on you.
What are some examples of faithfulness?
Abby, thank you so much for cleaning up the playroom. It looks fantastic.
Abby, why are you so upset?
Mom asked me to clean the playroom, but I went and read this month's new magazine instead of doing it, and I have no idea how it got cleaned.
That's because I cleaned it. Thank you, Bella! Abby,
But you told Mom you were busy with schoolwork.
I know how important it was to Mom, so I decided to go ahead and do it.
I feel so bad. Bella, thank you so much. You're the best sister ever. Bella, you were faithful to Mom.
Thanks, Abby, but I guess you weren't faithful.
Hey, Bella, do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
Let's play a game of Faithful or Not Faithful! Hey, Bella, here's the story. So I let one of my friends borrow my baby doll, and they popped the head off. Faithful or not faithful?
Not faithful.
Hey, Bella, Granny said she sent us a letter. And she did. Faithful or not faithful?
Faithful!
Hey, Bella, I told Mom I'd clean the playroom, and I didn't. Faithful or not faithful?
It's okay, I still love you. Unfaithful.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Hey, Bella, let's do one more round of faithful or not faithful. Remember that 59 cents you promised me?
I never said I was going to give you 59 cents.
Bye.
You've heard Jesus tell the story of the talents. And now tonight we will interview one of those servants, the unfaithful servant, on tonight's special edition of the Extra Extra Special Show.
Sir, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight and setting the record straight and sharing your side of the story.
Well, thank you so much for having me, but you don't have to call me sir. My name's Nipsey.
We were doing that to keep this anonymous.
Oh, that's right. Are y'all gonna blur out my face and stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, because I don't want anybody knowing it's me. Okay, and then another thing, are you guys gonna disguise my voice, or do I need to talk like this the whole time?
You can just use your regular voice, sir. It'll be fine.
Okay, so y'all are gonna take care of that after the fact?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and what do you want to know?
Whenever you're ready, tell us in your own words what happened that fateful day.
Well, I worked for a man for a long time, and one day he up inside decided, he's like, I'm gonna go on a vacation. I don't know if he went like on a yacht ride or on a helicopter ride or an airplane ride. I don't know if he went to the Caribbean or maybe down to New Zealand or like Australia because he really loved koala bears. But anyways, he came up to me and a couple other guys I work with, and he's like, hey, you guys, before I go, I'm going to give you some money. And I was like, oh, I love money. This is great. And he was like, he looked to my buddy Jeff, and he's like, Jeff, I'm going to give you $50, okay? And you take this $50 and you keep it and you use it while I'm on vacation. And Jeff was like, well, okay, thank you, Mr. Bossman. And then the other guy, his name was Larry. And Larry, he came up to Larry and he's like, Larry, I'm going to give you $20 and I want you to take this $20 and you use it while I'm going on vacation. Larry's like, well, thank you very much, Mr. Bossman. And then he came to me and he was like, oh, Nip, sorry, I can't use my name. He was like, Mr. Anonymous, I'm going to give you $10. And I was like, whoa, $10? Man, I started thinking about all the stuff I could buy. And I was like, man, I could buy a Happy Meal, like 2 or 3 Happy Meals. I could buy like a triple scoop at Baskin Robbins. And I was just so excited. And he was like, you take this $10 and you do something with it while I'm gone. And I was like, okay, Mr. Bossman. Well, the thing is, Jeff, well, he took his $50. He's like, you know what? I love lemonade. I'm going to open a lemonade stand. So he bought some lemons and some cups and some pitchers and some ice and some water and some sugar. Did I mention lemons? Anyways, and he had a lemonade stand. And you know what? He made so much money. He made not just the $50 he spent on all those supplies. He made another $50. Well, then my buddy Larry, he had $20. He's like, well, I don't really like lemonade, but I do love some hot chocolate. So he's like, I'm going to have a hot chocolate stand. So he had a hot chocolate stand. He bought marshmallows, the little tiny ones. He bought some of the big ones. He bought little cups. And he brought Swiss Miss hot chocolate. And he had himself a hot chocolate stand. And you know what? He made $20 on top of the money he'd already made. Well, the thing was, I looked at my $10 and I was like, my boss man's nice and all, but I don't think he's that nice. And I'm really scared. And I don't like lemonade. And to be honest, it's too hot for hot chocolate. So I was like, And I just took my $10 because I was kind of scared. And I put it in my sock drawer, and I just let it sit there.
Well, can you tell us what happened the day that your boss returned home?
Yeah, that was a tough day. Yeah, so
do you need to take a minute?
No, it's okay. So, anyways, my boss comes back, and he's all excited, and he's all super tan. I guess he did go to Australia, but anyways, he comes back, and he's all excited, and he comes up to my buddy Jeff. He's like, hey, y'all gather around. And I was like, oh, goody, he brought us a magnet or a t-shirt from his vacation, but he hadn't. He actually just wanted his money back. So he looked at my buddy Jeff, and he's like, Jeff, I gave you $50. And Jeff was like, well, Mr. Boss Man, I had a lemonade stand, and I made $50. So here you go. And Mr. Boss Man was like, woo, doggy, that's amazing. You are so faithful. And then my buddy Larry, he was like, well, he had lemonade, but I sold hot chocolate, and I made $20 too. And the boss man was like, what? I gave you 20 and you made another 20? That's amazing. Making so much money while I'm on vacation. And then he came to me. He was like, oh, anonymous guy. What happened to your $10? And I was like, well, you see, what had happened was, you're such a lovely man, and you are so kind to me, but I was scared that I'd lose your money, and that you would be really mad at me, and so I was like, no, I don't want to be mad at me, and I don't know anything about no lemonade, no hot chocolate stands, and so I just took the money and I put it in my sock drawer. And he looked at me and he was like, how dare you? And he took my $10 and he gave it to Jeff. I know. It's tragic. And he was like, man, you know what? You can't be trusted. You are so unfaithful. And it just broke my heart. And that's why I'm here today. I want y'all to know that you need to be faithful. That when people give you stuff and when they trust you with it, you need to be a good steward and be faithful and take care of it and do good stuff. And, you know, come to think of it, I could have just put that money in the bank and probably would have made some money. All I made in my sock drawer was some lint. So, yeah, I hope someone can hear my story today and can learn from it.
Well, this has been a very touching, albeit tragic story, and we just really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and sharing the story of hope and hope's dashed.
Yes, that's so true. Well, thank you so much for having me on, and I'm so glad this will be anonymous, and I just hope someone can learn from my story. But thank you very much, and you have a good night.
Wait!
Faithfulness. I am so glad that we serve a God who is faithful, a God we can always count on, and who is always true to his word. As a matter of fact, our Bible verse today is from the book of Deuteronomy, and it says, "Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments." I'm so glad that we serve a God who loves us, who is faithful to care for us, and who is always faithful to keep his promises. You know, we should want to be like God. That reminds me of our big idea.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Our big idea for today is, God is my example of faithfulness. Let's say that together. God is my example of faithfulness. Say it again. God is my example of faithfulness. The good thing about God's faithfulness is that even when we aren't faithful, he always is. Every time. We might mess up. We might break our end of the deal. But God is always faithful to do the things that he says he will do. One of the best things God ever did was he sent his son Jesus. He was faithful to send Jesus to die as a sacrifice for you and me. Even though we couldn't keep our end of the bargain, he still delivered his promise and sent his son to redeem us. That's why God is a perfect example of how we should be faithful. We should be willing to do the things we say we would do, even when it's hard, even when it may not be popular. We should be faithful to others because God has been so faithful to us. This week, when you go throughout your day, whatever you're doing, I want you to be faithful. Faithful to keep your word. Faithful to do the things that you say you're going to do. To be a faithful friend. To be there for someone. To be a faithful family member. I want you to represent God's goodness by being faithful in all that you say and do. It's not always easy, but the Holy Spirit can help us as we walk in faithfulness. Before we go, there's two things I want you to know. First off, I love you. And second, God does too. That's amazing to hear. And now, if you're ready for it, let's do the one thing I know you've been waiting for. It's time for our dance party!
Galatians 5:22 and 23. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives. Galatians 5:22 and 23.
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
The fruit of the Spirit is
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
the
gentleness and self-control.